everybody. Welcome to the first inaugural Beer 30 beer reviews. We did switch it up. Used to be drinking at home with Big Dub. I still am Big Dub. But we wanted to go a little different route here. We're going to talk some beer. We're going to talk some sports. And just have some fun and see what happens here. First off, how did I come up with the name Beer 30? You might think, oh, a lot of people see that on the clock, or they just talk about that when it's time to drink. But for me, it's a little shout out to my dad, my pops. Growing up, whenever him and I would start drinking, and still to this day, whenever we try to go, oh, it's time to crack a beer, let's have a beer, he's like, no, it's not Beer 30 for me yet. I can't drink to Beer 30. If I don't wait till Beer 30, I'm gonna be too tired. It's gonna knock me out. So it's a little shout out to my dad. And I also want to say thank you to my cousin, Zach, who did suggest the name for the new show. As you can see, I am wearing a Royals jersey. I am from Kansas City. Very happy that they did win a World Series a little bit ago, so I could actually remember one. But yeah, right now it's not the prettiest of times for them, but baseball is back. Happy to see that. We'll dive into that a little bit more here in a second. But what you see in front of me are 3 different IPAs. We are going to go talking about IPAs, do a little IPA challenge here today. First one we do have is the Legion of Haze. It's an East Coast IPA from Elkmont Exchange. That is a brewery in Knoxville, Tennessee. Second one we have is the AVL IPA. You're looking at a tropical juicy citrus style IPA from Highland Brewing in Asheville. And the last one we have is Water Slides. It's an IPA from Three Sheeps Brewing in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. So those are the 3 that we'll be cracking open today. But let's have some fun. Let's talk about sport. So one thing that I do like about baseball being back, I know it's a little weird seeing sports in empty stadiums, empty arenas. With baseball, I don't seem to mind it too much. I don't know if you guys are, if you like the animated fans they're throwing in, if you like the cardboard cutouts they're throwing in there to make it look like fans or the noise, but at least the baseball games are being played inside their own stadiums, so it kind of still has that feel of a major league game. And when you're watching the TV broadcast, you get the announcers and you still get the ambient sound that the TV's throwing on there. So yeah, when someone hits a home run or a foul ball and there's no one there to catch it, it's kind of sad, but it's still there. Compared to NBA, which just did start up, feels like they're kind of playing inside a like a hotel conference room or something of that nature. It doesn't give you that same feel of professional basketball, which is I'm not a big fan of. I do love seeing sports back. I hope that the scares that we're seeing right now, especially with MLB, doesn't cut the season. I do like that it's a sprint. It makes each game a little bit more exciting. Keeps a team like mine, the Royals, kind of still alive, even though normally they wouldn't be. So it's nice to see that. The new rules, though, I understand why they're doing the extra inning rule, starting a guy at second. Hopefully it's something they don't keep going with into the future, but you don't want to tax the bullpen arms. You don't want to put injuries when people are starting to come back. So I understand why they're doing it. It is a little weird, but it's something I'm used to. My sisters, they played fast pitch softball. I used to umpire softball, so it is something that you would normally see. So I've seen it done before, and I can understand why they're doing it. But I hope it's something that doesn't continue on. And I hope they don't continue the DH and the NL as well. I am AL fan. I love seeing all the home runs that the DH can provide or the extra runs, but at least with the NL having the pitchers only, you get a little more strategy. When do I take the pitcher out? When do I pitch hit? So, but just poured the first beer here, your Legion of Haze. Let you get a nice look. As you can see, it's a nice golden color. Has a nice little head to it there. I'll get a nose for it in a second here, but going back to the sports there. With hockey coming back too, I'm not the biggest of hockey fans, to be honest, but I do like that it's going to just be right into the playoffs. It's going to make each game exciting, and the bubble seems to be working for them. Seems to be working for the NBA as well. What I'm really nervous about is football, though. Huge football fan. Obviously, I'm guessing you can tell I'm going to be a Chiefs fan from KC. So at least that good news did happen in 2020 for me. But I hope they can figure it out. Hope they can make it happen. I think that's one sport that's going to be really weird if it is with no fans. Even if they pump in the crowd noise for the TV and try to pump it into the stadium, I know those players feed off of it a lot. So, but One thing that I really don't like empty though is my beer glass. So luckily we have one that's pretty full here. Getting a little citrus smell up front. The nose, it doesn't have too much on it though, to be honest with you. And just a little bit of the hops. So I know some IPAs you can get a strong hoppy nose to it, a little stronger head to it as well. Let's go ahead and give that one a taste. So up front, you get a little acidity with it, a little hoppiness. Back end, it's pretty bland at the back end, to be honest with you. Normally with an IPA, I kind of like a little pale finish to it, as you would expect. A little more, maybe more hops finish to it, a little bitterness with it. This one starts acidic, has a little citrus notes in the middle, then finishes real dry. With this one, I'm gonna go with a new rating scale. You might be used to my 0 to 10 that I've been doing. I'm going sports team here. Man, I think this one just basically got a C&I single. Not too big of a fan of it, to be honest with you. If you're someone that's new to IPAs, kind of scared of IPAs and what you've heard about them, this one might be for you. If you're scared of all the hoppiness or the bitterness that you've heard people talk about, I would give this one a try then. But for me, who does like the IPAs, it's something that I was a little disappointed about. But that one's that. Hey, bartender Bryce, what's next on tap for us here? While my bartender gets our next glass, college football, as you've been noticing, a lot of the Power 5 conferences are just moving to... Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, mister. Next will be the Highland Brewing. But going back to college football, a lot of the Power 5 conferences, as you see, are going to conference only. Maybe one non-conference game. My Jayhawks, they've already had to try to figure out 2 games because one conference that they were going to play, they're doing no football at all. The other one, the teams can only play in their home state. So the home game they were going to have with Boston College has been suspended, so they're going to have to try to figure out something there. I'm really worried about the football season. It's a little harder to do bubble scenarios with that large a group of people, with conferences, with teams having to do more travel. I just don't know where you can do the bubble situation with them. I'm hoping we see football. I'm hoping we see NFL. I'm less likely hopeful on the college. I would love to see it, but I'm not feeling as good about that one happening. When it comes to college football, yeah, my team's terrible, not gonna lie. Went to University of Kansas. They're averaging, what, 1.5 wins over the last few years, but I'm hoping the Mad Hatter can get it turned around for them. They're showing promise, but even though my team's terrible, I still love Saturdays, watching the games and having fun and just having my son there watching the games. He likes the sports too. Now looking at this one, as you can see, this one is a lot more clear, a lot more golden. The head is a lot stronger on it too. The previous beer was a little more thicker golden color to it. This one almost looks like a light Pilsner, but it's still considered an IPA is what they're saying. Tropical juicy citrus, 6.5 alcohol per volume. It says it's unfiltered, American IPA, flush with notes of mango, lemon, and papaya. So I'm expecting a lot of citrus notes when I go into this one. Up front, I do get those citrus notes on the nose. Little acidity with it too. I'll let that foam die down for us before I go ahead and take a drink. Feel free down below in the comments, let me know your thoughts on the current sports season. Let me know your favorite teams, maybe discussion points that you'd like to talk about in the future. I have a lot of things planned for us in the future. I will be giving out some prizes maybe in the future. Hey Bryce, you want to show them some of the prizes we're going to give away? Let me get my my little guy Bryce here. Yep, can you get those for me? So for the beer lovers, in the future here, I got some tap handles I'll be happy to give away. Got a Miller Lite one here. We got a Leinenkugel Sunset Wheat Boat canoe. I know those are a little tougher to find nowadays. And then we got a Third Shift Amber Lager one as well. We have other ones besides these 3, but I'm just giving you an idea of what what we're going to possibly be giving away. How we're going to do that? Now and then in some videos, I'm going to ask you to comment below with maybe your favorite brewery, maybe your favorite team, or both together. Watch out, buddy, you're going to shake the beer. And let me know, and I'll just randomly pick a winner. If you do pick a brewery and it's something I can find, I'll happily give some tasting to it as well. You want to show them the other things we might give away, buddy? The cards right there. As Bryce is showing you, go, buddy. Since we are talking sports too, be happy to give away some sports cards. How we're gonna do that, when you mention your favorite team, mostly NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, I'll put together a little prize pack with cards from that team. I'll try to get you at least one autograph, hopefully a memorabilia type card too, and possibly some rookies thrown in there as well. I'm not just gonna send you a box of commons, because what fun is that? So I'll try to get you a couple hits thrown into each box as well. So that's something we're looking to do in the future. Let's go ahead and taste the AVL IPA here. Funny, I'm not tasting the citrus notes that they're going to talk about. I get your standard IPA basically. You get a little acidity up front. It finishes with some paleness on the back end there. And it is that hoppiness that you look for in IPA. I was hoping for a little more taste, but not getting that. Bryce, you want to get the last beer for us? And let me rate this one real quick. I would say that one's a double. Ground rule double. Almost knocked it out of the park there. It tastes really good. So, and it is the IPA style that you like. If you're someone who enjoys IPA, please give that one a try. You'll enjoy it. Go sit down, bud. Right. Last is going to be the Water Slides IPA. Going back to sports, 60-game season with baseball. It's going to be a sprint. Playoffs, putting half the teams in there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. There's a lot of teams, and a lot of the games at the end of the season are going to be important. But how are they going to make up those games that they've already had to cancel due to COVID? That's what I'm kind of interested to see. I saw Manfred did send a warning. That one opened a little fast. Did send out a warning to the Players Association that if they don't get things under control, they might have to cancel the season. And that's the last thing I want to see, especially when they get going. I do want to see everyone safe. I would hate to see anyone unnecessarily get sick or pass it on. But when the sports gets going, I know it's getting the fan bases happy and excited and brings something new to the world, a little, hopefully, kind of normalcy that we've been missing. But to get it going and then to have to stop would be sad. So I don't know if that's where we're headed or not, but hopefully they can get that figured out. Hopefully they can close off the holes that they have, especially with Miami. Looks like Philly got it, St. Louis has it. So hopefully they can close those bubbles up here pretty quick, and we can just continue on with the season. I know it's scary for some of the other teams to have to travel to those locations, but it is what it is, and like I said, hopefully they can figure it out. And hopefully my team, the Royals, can actually sneak into one of those last spots. AL Central doesn't have too many teams going too strong as of yet, but I mean, we're only a week into the season, so that could easily change, and my Royals could be the Royals and do what they do, lose 7 to 10 in a row, and then I'll lose interest because they are pretty good at making me do that. Last one we have here is our Water Slides IPA from Three Sheeps Brewing. You're looking here at 60 IBUs, so hopefully we're going to get some bitterness out of it. And they're not giving me much else. They are telling me it's dry hopped, so you're expecting those flavors as well. 6.7% is what you're looking at. This one is a little more darker gold color. What's nice is with the 3 different IPAs we've had, they've each had a different color to them. This one's darker golden, a little more amberish to it mixed in there too. Has a stronger foamy head to it as well. This is something you kind of expect from a typical IPA right here. This darker color, the bigger foamy head to it as well. On the nose, I kind of get I can definitely smell the yeast in this one, some of the malts and hops. I wasn't getting the yeast smells in the other ones. but it's definitely right up front. You get that strongly with this beer. You taste the yeast as well. Right up front is the yeast. It's not something that I enjoy too much, to be honest with you. I'm expecting more of that acidity, more of that paleness, that hoppiness. Overwhelmingly, you do get that yeast, and maybe a little hops thrown in there at the back end, but I'm not a fan of this flavor at all. The nose, it gets you going on that yeast trend, and it continues on. So this one here, sorry to have to do this to you, Three Sheeps, but I think you struck out on that one.
Sorry.
There's probably a lot of people
really
that enjoy it,
sorry.
but not for me. If you're someone who is an IPA fan that expects the hops, the acidity, something of that nature, that's not what you're getting. If you're someone who likes yeast, the flavors of the yeast thrown in there, maybe a little slight hops, this is your beer, and that's fine, but it's just not for me. But thank you for tuning in to the first show. Please subscribe. Please comment below. Please like, please pass along. Let me know what you'd like me to talk about in the future. We're gonna go beer, we're gonna talk about sports, and we will start doing some giveaways, so don't forget. We have nice cards to give away, we have tap handles, maybe some other gifts when it comes to beer related as well. Look forward to talking to you more. Expect 2 releases from me a week here on this, and thank you, and cheers. Good night.